We have lentil nutloaf for you today.
With no eggs.
And it's delicious.
So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back today on Food for Thought. My name is Trishonna, and these are my sisters, Audrey and Emberly, and we're the Benton Sisters. Today, we are going to talk about fresh air. It's another one of those wonderful laws in the 8 laws for optimum physical health. Did you know that the air you breathe really has an effect on how you feel? Positive ions make you feel negative, and negative ions make you feel positive. Negative ions are found in the fresh outdoors, near raging waterfalls, crisp morning air, or even near the ocean. Have you ever noticed that when you go to the beach or on a picnic, how hungry you become? Because of the fresh air helps to aid in digestion. Also, it induces sound sleep. So, open your windows up at night and let the fresh air come in while you're sleeping. Now, positive ions make you feel negative, and they come to us in ill-ventilated rooms. They can make us feel dizzy, have headaches, nasal obstruction, hoarseness, fatigue, and a lot of other problems. In fact, one lady that came to our seminar, our health improvement seminar, shared her testimony with me. She said that she experienced oxygen deprivation at work, and after many coworkers became ill, she insisted that the oxygen level in her office be checked. And after doing so, it was discovered that the oxygen level was below the recommendations by government standard. Her office was down in the bottom level of the building they were working in. And so it's important that you have fresh air, and the kind of air you have is important too. While we know it's important to breathe in order to live, also the quality of air we breathe is also important. So get into the outdoors and breathe deep and enjoy the benefits of the fresh air. What are we having today to cook?
Well, we're having salad first. Salad is the most important, well, I would say most important
You always want to start off a big meal, the beginning of your meal with a salad, right?
That's right.
Get the salad straight.
So what are you going to do to this salad?
Well, we're going to chop up some lettuce. You want to start chopping on that?
You want dark green leafy vegetables and lettuce. So we'll put a little bit of spinach on here. And we like to use spring mix. It has 8 different types of
baby leaves.
And it's so good. And so if you can find some spring mix,
we like bell pepper also. Red bell pepper is really nice.
And then you want to put some red leaf lettuce. And then a little bit of parsley for that flavor. And I love basil. Basil is so good in the salad, isn't it?
Fresh basil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I agree. I love basil too.
And if you want to throw in some mint, put some mint in there.
How about some cilantro?
That works.
Yeah, if you like cilantro, that's good. Just make it fun. All your favorite ingredients.
We like to have hearts of palm.
I'll put some slivered carrots.
We like to get the hearts of palm and the artichokes with no vinegar.
Oops.
We can just get these are just done in salt water.
Good, that's wonderful.
And then put some olives.
Man, you're making an exotic salad, aren't you? Who wouldn't want to eat a salad like this?
And some cherry tomatoes. I like cherry tomatoes, are my favorite. They seem to have more of a flavor than the bigger tomatoes. But then if you have a garden, all tomatoes are delicious in the garden, aren't they? Nothing like garden food.
Or organic. If you can buy it organic, that's another benefit, because you don't have to worry about the pesticides and all the other chemicals that are being put onto the food.
Or put on hominy.
We usually like to peel our cucumbers, but if you have a garden cucumber, just take it and score it a little bit with a fork, and it makes it look really beautiful, and then just slice it and put it on your plate.
So you're just pushing down hard on the peeling. Okay. Looks easy enough for me to do.
And what else do you have? Is that kidney beans?
Mm-hmm. You can make garbanzos on here if you like. And oh, we have garbanzos.
Then you
All right.
slice it, and it has this really pretty look to it when you slice it. If you press hard enough.
Put a little more olives on there. We didn't get enough.
Now, what about salad dressing?
Oops.
What do you guys recommend?
Salad dressing. We have a lot of really nice salad dressings in our cookbooks. And today we're going to show you how to make ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot one thing on that platter. Can you
What?
guess what that is?
The flowers. I
My
noticed there's
favorite.
flowers here. What do
My
you-
favorite is putting flowers in the salad. Have you heard of that? You want to make sure they're edible flowers.
You put them on for us because I don't know how you don't do
And
that.
just put on your flowers. What's your favorite kind you like to eat?
Snapdragons are really good.
One snapdragon I had, and just sprinkle them on here. And the snapdragon had a delicious lemon flavor to it. It was so good. And so they can be really fun. And sprinkle on some rose petals. It's
Well,
good.
that looks like a salad for a king. Definitely. So you're going to make ranch dressing, did you tell us?
Yes.
Ranch dressing. All right.
And this calls for tofu. We're using morning tofu in this. One pack of morning tofu. And it also calls for lemon juice. We try and use fresh squeezed lemon juice is the best. And it calls for salt.
And that's a half of a cup of lemon juice.
Okay. Salt, and we have onion garlic powder. We have basil.
And dill. So it's a teaspoon of salt, half of a teaspoon of onion garlic powder, and you want, I think it's a half of a teaspoon of dill,
And parsley also.
half tablespoon of basil, and about a teaspoon of parsley.
And just enough water to blend it.
That sounds easy enough. I think I could do that.
You know, it's faster doing this than going to the store and buying it.
That's true.
Okay, we'll blend it here for you.
And it's better for you, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Okay.
That didn't take any time at all. That was fast.
Should we just pour it right on our salad dressing, our salad?
Sure, why not?
Okay. And get it on here good?
Mmm, yum.
Okay, that looks like enough. All right. Well, we have our salad ready. We need something else to go with it. Should we make scallop potatoes?
That sounds good.
Okay.
How many people like scallop potatoes? I think everybody does. Do you? Scallop potatoes are really good, and they were one of my daddy's favorites. In fact, when we changed over our diet and just decided to go more healthfully and eat the food God has created for us, fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables in the original diet, Daddy said, well, scallop potatoes will never be the same without cheese and eggs and milk and all the other stuff we used to put into it. But when we made this recipe, he thought, are you sure you're not cheating? So you might want to try this recipe at home and see what your family thinks about it. It's really good.
Okay. First of all, it calls for cashews, and you want to make sure they're raw cashews. And these are washed already. We'll put this in a blender. And I have salt also in here. I'm making a mess.
You sure are.
Okay. This is one of another really easy ingredient recipes. Just 2 ingredients. Just cashews and salt. And if you like, you can put a little butter flavoring in here.
Now that's imitation butter flavoring,
Uh-huh.
so it's not the real thing.
Okay. Then we need
That's optional.
right. We need a little bit of water first of all to blend. Get these cashews all smooth. Okay. So whiz them right now. Okay, now you want to blend this a lot longer than we did today, so it'll be nice and smooth. Okay, how much more water do we need in this recipe?
Okay, we need, let's see, 4 cups of water total.
Okay, well,
Just fill it up to the 4 mark right there.
Isn't it nice to have a blender with a
That looks
measure,
good.
measuring cup features on it?
that's for sure. Okay, now we want to whiz this real quick.
So what you have in the blender is 2 cups of cashews, 4 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of salt, And also probably 2 teaspoons of, did I say 2 tablespoons of salt? 2 teaspoons of salt. Don't put in 2 tablespoons, please.
Okay, we need our grater now.
And then 2 teaspoons of butter flavoring.
Okay. Now we're going to grate our potatoes for you here. Put this on. Okay. These are really fast and easy. Wasn't that easy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely faster than doing it by hand.
I would say so. Okay. Now for this recipe, it's a quite big recipe, so you might want a little more potatoes than we have here.
And do we usually put onion in this recipe?
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll show you a way to do this that's easy.
What, chop the onion?
Mm-hmm.
Another one of your wonderful tricks?
Okay, we'll just put it in the blender here. Okay.
So the onion's in there with some of that gravy that you put on the
Mm-hmm. This makes it
potatoes.
fast. You don't want to spend all day in the kitchen.
So what you
cooking.
going to do?
We're going to blend it here.
Too bad it wasn't clear so we could see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it's all chopped up when you pour it out, right?
That's cool. I can handle that.
Where did the onion go, Audrey?
It's all blended up.
Looks like it's minced, huh?
Well, I can definitely say that having quality equipment in your kitchen sure helps to make time go by fast when you're cooking. I would like to definitely be cooking with that type of
Cool.
equipment.
Parsley and paprika on.
Makes it look pretty.
Now this will probably cook for half an hour, would you say, on 350?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll
That
go.
looks good, and you can also top it with the cheese, the non-dairy cheese out of the cookbook. Should I go put that in the oven?
Yes, could you do that, please?
Okay, so we have a salad for lunch. We have scallop potatoes. What else are we going to make?
We're going to make lentil nutloaf.
Lentil nutloaf. Okay. I'll share with...
Would you read off the ingredients for us?
Yes, I'll love to do that.
Okay.
First of all, you need 2 cups of whole wheat breadcrumbs. Then 1 cup of walnuts ground, 1/2 cup of quick oats, 3 tablespoons of gluten flour, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1½ teaspoons of sage, 1/2 cup of Bragg's liquid aminos, 1 medium onion, finely chopped, 1 teaspoon of garlic crushed, and 1 medium zucchini shredded, and last but not least, 4 cups of lentils cooked and then blended. And so that's where we are now. We're ready to blend our lentils that we've already cooked up, right?
Correct.
And that
Now-
recipe is on page 38 in the Volume 1 cookbook.
Make sure when you cook your lentils, you don't put any salt in your lentils, else you'll have it too salty.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, we need just enough water to blend.
And you can use the water that you use to cook.
The broth off the
Yeah.
lentils from
Yeah.
cooking them? All right.
Just enough water you just need enough liquid to blend.
Okay, let's blend this right now. Okay.
Lentils are another one of those wonderful beans that are a powerhouse of nutrition. Fiber, they're low in fat, and they're just so good for you. And so this is a neat recipe that you can add to your diet that will help you to eliminate the fat and cholesterol out of your lifestyle and diet. Okay, now what do you add?
This is breadcrumbs.
Okay.
How much breadcrumbs that was?
I'll sprinkle
cups,
these
right?
in,
Okay.
and you can want
We-
to grate the.
Sure. We need oats.
Okay.
So we're getting quite a variety of different grains and got
What's this?
wheat
Gluten flour.
and oat,
That's our binder.
Okay.
some gluten. All right.
And if you want to put it in a mold, you can add 1/3 cup of gluten flour, or if you're just going to put it in a baking dish, you can leave that out.
Okay.
or not add as much.
This is our seasonings here.
That's sage.
Sage and our...
And you want to make
seasoning.
sure you mix that in thoroughly or else it'll be all in one spot, right?
Right.
Definitely.
And our brags, you need some liquid in there, don't you?
That will give it some flavor. Good flavor.
Okay. Now, we have walnuts here. We need them chopped, don't we? We'll have to chop our walnuts up. Okay.
A lot of people are concerned about getting enough protein in their diet, and especially getting enough balanced protein. But you don't have to worry about this even on a vegetarian or a vegan diet, because God has packaged all of the foods in the right proportion. And when you eat a variety from day to day and not get stuck in a rut and eat the same thing day after day, you get all the nutrients you need. And did you know that actually when you eat animal protein, there's a lot of problems that happen because of it? Let me just share with you some damages of too much protein in your diet. Number 1, it decreases lifespan. That doesn't sound good, does it? Number 2, it increases cancer risks. Can you imagine that? Number 3, it idles the metabolic engine at a faster rate. Number 4, it taxes the kidneys and liver. 5, it's toxic to the joints, arteries, nerves, and brain. That's just a few of the problems that come because of having the wrong kind of protein in our diet. And so eat more of the legumes and the grains because they are really, really good for you. And I love this recipe because this is a great way to put in your meal. It's not like boring bean soup or something like that. It's a really neat nut loaf.
Okay. This is our zucchini. We're going to finely grate.
Zucchini is good to put in here with your lentil nutloaf. It gives your loaf a nice fluffy texture. Keeps it from being heavy.
Also adds another element of nutrition, doesn't it?
Yes. Okay.
Could
now
you put carrots in there too if you wanted?
if you wanted to, that'd be fine.
Yeah, you probably could. Never tried it.
Okay. Now we need to chop our walnuts, and so we'll just use this blender here.
Now, walnuts is another wonderful nut because it helps to lower your blood cholesterol.
That's right. Okay, we'll chop them real quick. Okay. You ready for the walnuts, Emberly?
And you notice when we made this, we didn't put any eggs in it for a binder. We didn't put any oil in there in this recipe or any dairy products of any kind. Our binder is the gluten, and our oil substance is from the nuts, the essential fatty acids instead of refined, which is good for health. So you have abundance of nutrients and nothing hurtful to your health in this recipe.
It smells good. Can you smell that? Mm-hmm. It's not cooked yet. Okay. We're going to put this in a form pan or what kind of pan?
Yeah, let's put that in a bun pan.
Okay.
I agree. I always like cooking
Make it pretty.
nut loaves or any type of veggie loaves in a nice pretty mold.
And then make sure you spray it really good with a non-stick spray. And then we'll just put it in here.
So what are we going to make after this? Do we have any?
I think a mushroom gravy would be excellent to go with this, don't you?
Oh, I agree, definitely.
Now, how long does this take to bake?
Bakes 350 the temperature and for about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay, and then two things you want to remember. You might want to write it down. Spray your pan real good, and then after you get done baking it, you want to let it cool. And then when it's cool, this loaf will slide out of this mold really nice. So make sure it cools first. It won't slide out very good when it's hot. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven.
To bake, and while you're doing that, Audrey is going to show us how to make the gravy.
Okay. For this gravy recipe, it calls for cashews. And you want to make sure your cashews are washed, raw cashews.
All right.
We'll just put them in the blender. And then it calls for cornstarch for thickening.
So how much cashews is that? This is 2/3 cup of cashews.
And a little salt. And you want to
Teaspoon
little
of salt.
water. Start off with a little water, just enough to blend it.
Okay.
Now, wasn't that easy recipe? I mean, just 3 ingredients and you have your gravy. So we'll blend it right now.
Are you sure it's not thick yet?
Well, we have to thicken it, of course.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go.
You'll want to blend that until it's satiny smooth. And I'll just tell you what she put in there.
Well, we want to add 2
Okay,
cups
go ahead
of
and put the rest of that in there.
total 2 cups of water.
So 2 cups of water, 2/3 cup of cashews, a teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and that's it, right?
Right. Let me whiz it real quick. Okay.
Simple. And then to make it mushroom gravy, then what do you do?
Well, since this is mushroom gravy, it calls for mushrooms. We're using canned mushrooms here.
Or you can use fresh.
Or what we like to do is use eggplant.
Eggplant's good too.
Just peel your eggplant and chop it up to the sizes you like, and then you can just steam it in a frying pan or a kettle, and then put in your gravy. And it works
That
really
looks
good.
kind of looks like mushrooms that way, huh?
They do.
And
Or
then
you can leave them out if you want.
Okay, and if they don't want to use mushrooms, they can use eggplant. Cool.
Correct.
Well, that's wonderful.
How's the nutloaf doing?
I'll go check.
Okay.
You know, in a small space you can make with the end of your pen are 4 million red blood cells that never touch because they have a negative charge that repels them away from each other. This negative charge is so important so it can carry oxygen throughout your body. But when you take in fat, especially refined fat, like the oils and butters and such, you coat the membrane of your red blood cell with a thin layer of fat, reversing the negative charge, and so then they start sticking together and can't do a good job of oxygenating your brain. Have you ever noticed that after a big dinner you get sleepy? We always think that when the belly is full, the body needs rest, but this isn't necessarily true. What happens is that you have oxygen deprivation, and so cutting the oils out of your diet is really important so that you don't have oxygen deprivation, because cancer cannot grow in a well-oxygenated body. And the meal that we are preparing today is a good example of accomplishing that. And you got it. It's all cooked up now.
Well, we had one that was pre-made.
Oh, good.
So, and then it's nice and cold. You want to make sure it's cold.
Great.
And it'll slide out good. Just go like that. And you may want to put it on something that can go back in the oven.
To rewarm after it's
to warm
cold.
it up, and then put it on your
Good idea.
tray so it'll look pretty
So what are you gonna
for your centerpiece.
What are you gonna do with it now? Doesn't
And
that
then
look pretty?
Some parsley on?
Just garnish it with parsley and have some color on it. You can also put vegetables around it. You have a wonderful savory glaze we showed you on another program, and you can put that around it too.
That's good. And some tomatoes for color. Put them on here.
Just a little bit of parsley over on this side.
You know, it's so
That's
important
pretty.
how eye appeal will affect how your appetite will be. And, you know, I used to think that eating healthfully was going to be blah and boring, but my opinion on that has changed, because you can be creative and there's so many wonderful recipes. And what we have done is we prayed and asked Jesus to help us to be able to make our old favorites without those heart attack ingredients. And I think he has answered our prayers. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, while the gravy thickens up, how's the scallop potatoes doing?
Okay, let me go check.
Okay.
Isn't that salad just so beautiful?
Yes, it is.
Probably wondering, is that a salad for one person on that plate? Well, did you know that we eat a big salad
Like that?
just like that for every meal? Well, actually every lunch meal or dinner meal before we eat the rest of our foods, because all the nutrients in that salad helps you to digest your food. Have you ever noticed after you've eaten cooked food, it's harder to eat fresh vegetables? And so you want to eat your salad first.
That looks delicious, the scallop potatoes.
Oh, here's the scallop potatoes. Doesn't that look good?
Is the gravy done?
Yes, the gravy's all done.
Let's put the gravy over the, here, can you move your hand? Okay.
Yeah, there we switch.
Put the gravy on here without making too big of a mess.
Everything smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I guess we're ready for dinner, aren't we?
That looks pretty.
All right. Well, we hope you have fun cooking these healthy recipes in your kitchen. Remember to have a big salad every meal and eat lots of fruit for breakfast. And we'll see you again. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you've enjoyed the recipes and cooking tips in this program, you'll want to order our Food for Thought resource sheet. We'll tell you how you can order the cookbooks you've seen used on this program, along with other information that will help you cook healthful, attractive vegetarian meals. For your free copy of our Food for Thought resource sheet, please write to us at Food for Thought, P.O. Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896, or call 618-627-4651.
Doesn't this food look good? We have scallop potatoes and this wonderful lentil nutloaf and a beautiful salad.
With ranch dressing.
You know, when you eat quality nutrition, and don't forget to get plenty of pure fresh air, oxygenate your brain, you feel great. But the lack of these things make us feel terrible and can cause sickness and illness. And it's hard to love one another when we don't feel very good. And so we want to have nutrition in our diet so that we can feel better and love each other just like Jesus would have us to do.
Jesus, take control of my life, and then I will be just what you want me to be.
Jesus, I give you my will. I'm willing to be just what you want me to be.
Jesus, fill my thoughts with your love, so then I will be full of your sweet melody.
Lord, you know I'm ready to go anywhere that there is a need. Lord, you know I'm ready to go anywhere that you want to lead. Anywhere that you want to lead. Ooh.
And now we would like to close with our food for thought for today. Not only is God the originator of all, but it is His life we receive in everything that lives. We want to thank you for joining us today, and may God richly and abundantly bless you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.